I'm not going to dogpile on that and shit on it simply for the fact that I haven't seen it yet. So I cannot shit on it to the extent that I would probably enjoy. But what we can talk about is another aspect of his acting career, which he had some comments on, because this is not his first foray into film and the cinema world. In fact, this is his second. His first one was this little HBO show titled Idol. The Idol, starring Johnny Depp's daughter. What's her name? Lily Rose Depp or something like that. He had some words to talk about, his very poorly received first foray into the world of film and cinema. Here we are. From Entertainment Weekly, The Weeknd says the Idol's bad reviews make a lot of sense. Everyone is trying to get to the finish line. So, for those that don't know, Idol, the show, is kind of first, much hyped up, hoopla, whatever, HBO show about, this pop star that gets into this very seedy world and management, and there's sex and there's betrayal and there's drugs, and it's pretty much everything that The Weeknd personally loves singing about pretty much through the entirety of his discography. It is The Weeknd. It's basically The Weeknd's life, which revolves around being a pop star, dealing with shady individuals, having dirty, debaucherous sex, doing drugs, just living that debaucherous, scummy pop star life. That's pretty much the MO of who The Weeknd is, what he loves to sing about. Just like Pusha T loves rapping about coke, The Weeknd loves singing about debauchery. They go hand in hand. So pretty much he put that on screen, he put that on film, and a lot of people were hyped for it because they thought, his music's very cinematic. He's got some storytelling in there. I'm down for it. I'm excited. It's HBO. It must be good. Spoiler, it was not. It was absolute dog shit. And it's fresh to see. It's very refreshing to see he's acknowledging that. Most people would not admit this because that is a very tough thing to swallow. A tough pill to swallow, especially considering you are somebody who's had so much success in your life. Just from music, from touring, just as a celebrity, everything you touched has worked. And then to branch out and to do this other creative thing and then to bomb and to faceplant in front of everybody like that, it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. Here we go. The Weeknd gets why people didn't idolize the Idol. The musician reflected on his poorly received 2023 HBO series in a new interview, admitting that the negative reception to it makes a lot of sense. Pandemic happened. Theaters are not a thing anymore at the time. Television is the new god. The project was originally intended to be a feature film, but the post-COVID landscape forced some of the co-creators, Reza Fahim and Euphoria mastermind Sam Levinson. That's another reason why the Idol was so kind of like looked forward to, and people were excited because it had Sam effing Levinson behind this from obviously HBO's other breakout smash hit Euphoria. So people thought like, oh yeah, that's a match made in heaven. Euphoria is basically the Weeknd teen edition, and then to pivot to a different medium. And to see this guy that people love, like The Weeknd, pivot to a different medium, like it was like, oh, this is gonna be fire. But no, the series 5 episode structure, he suggested, left something to be desired. Could have been great if it had a beginning, middle, and end. It just ended on middle. So basically, what he said, it would have been great if it had a story.
What? Bruh.
Hear me out now. I know it wasn't well received. I know y'all hated it. Y'all ripped me apart for months for it. But it would have been great. Hear me out. It would have been great if it only had a story. Like, bro, what? Like, to say that if it had a beginning, a middle, and an end, you mean a basic story structure? Is that the bar we are aiming for in terms of HBO shows now? Come on, son. He added that the Idol, which also starred Lily Rose Depp, again, Johnny Depp's daughter, like I mentioned, Susanna's son, and Troye Sivan, which, yeah, it's star power. You thought this is a lock. Suffered from a lack of passion for some of the cast and crew. You don't say. The best films have as much of a singular voice as possible, and everybody working on it cares about it just as much as the director and the actors. He said, explaining that this wasn't the case on the show. People cared about it for sure, but I think it got to a point where everybody was just trying to get to the finish line. You can't force something. You just got to let it be whatever it is, even if it's half baked. Okay. So the reasons that the Idol was not good and well received and bashed is, one, because it didn't have a beginning, middle, and end, basically a basic story structure and plot and whatever. And two, because the cast and crew weren't all in. So it was shit all around, is what you're telling me. The production was shit, and then the story was shit. And you still got put out on HBO is beyond me. The reason, now hear me out, probably, not going to say for sure, but probably the reason the cast and crew were not all in on this passion project of yours is because they saw it had no fucking story. Maybe that might be it. They might know, as probably you hired some good cast and crew that have worked on a lot of projects, a lot of shows, a lot of movies. They can probably look at something and identify that's going to be dog shit. And that's probably why you felt a lack of passion. Now, I'm not on set. I can't speak for them directly, but I think that is a pretty safe bet. It's probably tough to watch as somebody that's part of the industry, part of one medium, and to watch this guy just hop over and kind of get this red carpet rolled out for him, who's never produced a film, never produced TV, never done anything in cinema. Get the red carpet rolled out for him, basically skip the line in front of all these other creatives, get his story, in quotations, fast tracked on HBO of all platforms. HBO, known for some of the greatest TV shows of all goddamn time and is a powerhouse in the industry. Get it fast tracked. And to watch this guy come over, no credentials, no whatever, just hop in like, this is what we're doing, was probably another tough pill for them to swallow, quite honestly. Now, if they didn't believe in it, they shouldn't have taken a job in the first place, but a job is a job. So I won't knock them too much for that. But those are probably some of the reasons for the lack of passion that he felt on set. The Weeknd was heavily involved in the show's conception and execution. He starred and co-wrote and executive produced every episode, but didn't want to force his vision at every junction during the creative process because then it become difficult, and the worst thing you can be called in Hollywood is difficult. He said difficult spreads. The artist was especially careful not to come off as a control freak or a diva since he had such little experience as an actor. Oh, we know. We've seen how little experience of an actor you have. You've got to pay your dues, but boy, did I pay my dues. Oh, God. This is rich. This is very rich. So he was almost there. He was almost identifying the main problem with his projects, because I said I'm not going to talk about Hurry Up Tomorrow, his new feature film that just came out, but that got ripped to absolute fucking pieces and is widely considered one of the worst films of the 2020s. Why is that? Why are these film projects being destroyed to the degree that they are. Well, one, people love to tear down a successful person that thinks they can just hop into any medium. There's absolutely that form and aspect of that going on, that dogpiling mentality of like, let's watch this, let's bring this guy down a notch. Who the fuck does he think he is? He can just hop into film in Hollywood and just what? Just take over? Just do whatever he wants? Like, nah, we ain't going there. There's definitely an aspect of that. 1000%. But there is a common denominator here that he did not fully identify. One, there's no story. There's no beginning, middle, end. People weren't passionate, but yet you were the creator. You were the executive producer. You were the actor. You were one of the writers. So you were the boss. This was your project. You were the lead in every way. You did everything but be the director. And people hated it and it was successful. And then you did it again and people hated it and you weren't successful. Maybe the problem was you. I don't know. Could be a stretch, but maybe the problem is that you don't know what the fuck you're doing in film. Not that you're being difficult, but that you don't know what the fuck a good film and story is. Yes, you are a phenomenal artist and musician and probably songwriter. But that don't mean you're going to be great in every other area. You probably needed a lot more help. And more time to cook. And what a lot of times is kind of the problem with things like this, especially when, you know, somebody successful, money, whatever, fame comes into this, is that there's not enough people to say no to you. You probably didn't have enough people to say no to you that didn't want to step on your toes, that want to step on your passion project to actually point this in a successful manner. But here we are again, round 2. Maybe you should just stick to music at this point. Like 2 for 2 bombs. It might just be better for you to stick to music. I'm just saying.